This is a video presentation for the iStat. So we're using the iStat on neonatal transport. So you'll want to get the iStat from the NICU and you will take it with you in our blue transport bag. There's a pocket on the outside that says iStat pocket. You'll also want to grab a couple of cartridges, and we also have syringes and capillary tubes in the bag for your use in transport. So here we've got Haley, and she will be demonstrating the use of the iStat. So the first thing we're going to do is turn the iStat on with the lower button on the right, and we're going to select number 2, which is iStat cartridge. Now we're going to enter our operator ID, and if you're not able to scan your badge, Walter has the number that you will enter in, and you have to make sure you enter it correctly twice. Once you do that, it's going to prompt you to scan the patient, or you can enter their medical record number into the iStat. And for this purpose, we're just using 1111. Now it's going to have you scan the lot number on the cartridge, and so you'll just hold down the scan button on the iStat until you scan it. The next step is inserting the cartridge. So this is the important part where you're filling the cartridge, and I'm just going to show here before Haley takes this step. You want to make sure you can insert your capillary tube or the tip of your syringe into the sample well, which is right here. And then you want to fill it until it gets to the blue arrow. If your blood does go past this blue arrow, there's a chance that it will not process it correctly. So she's going to go ahead and use some control liquid here to demonstrate the cartridge. And it's also easier if you set it down on the table, just so that it's stable, so that you don't knock it over by accident during the process. So once you've put the blood into the iStat, you may need a little bit more, Haley, until you get to the blue arrow. Once you put the blood in, you're going to, that looks perfect, you're going to snap the little cover over the sample well, and you'll hear it click. And you see how she was holding it. That's perfect, because this is where the sensors live to measure the blood gas parameters, so you don't want to press down on this center part. So you could see how Haley held it right there, and then she inserted the blood. So now she's going to put the cartridge into the machine. And we'll pause just a moment while it completes the results. And now you can see on this screen, while it's processing the sample, that you have choices, and this is new, to enter in of what the baby is using. So for these things, we're going to hit menu, and then a list will come up showing the different options. So is the baby on a nasal cannula, a high flow? And then if you're trying to get to CPAP, for example, we can right arrow over until we get to CPAP. So there, that's number 1. And then you can enter the amount, and then the flow rate. And now it's going to go to the site, Allen's test, sample, FiO2, and patient temp. So you can move through each of those fields by hitting menu and then entering the relevant information. And by the time you get done with this part, it should be pretty close to finishing the sample testing. And so it does take 120 seconds, so it's almost done, and it will alert you not to remove the cartridge until it has completed. And of course, this is our sample control fluid, and so we only get Actually, we got a little bit more information this time than we did previously. So here's our result. So there is an option to take the printer with you on transport. If you unplug it from here, it does have a battery. And in order to print, you line up the eye on the iStat with this eye here on the printer. And once those are lined up, you hit print. And it will print a result for you. Once you get back to the NICU, this is the process on the front of this binder on how you're going to enter it into Epic. So until we enable the iStat to connect with Epic, that's the process to put it into the computer. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks. Bye.